Today in this video, I'm going to be sharing the top 3 skills that all companies want and need. Hi, my name is Chad and welcome to this channel. If it's your first time here, if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much. Now, if it's your first time here or if you're not a subscriber, you just kind of happen to wander on the channel from time to time because it shows up in your feeds, why not just become a subscriber by clicking that little subscribe button down below? It's really easy, it's free, it doesn't cost you anything, and you get some really good content. Go down, click the subscribe button, become part of the community. Likewise, give me a thumbs up anytime in this video if you like what you're hearing. Now, I realize that saying that these are the top 3 skills that all companies want and need is a very bold statement, but if you hang out with me until the end of the video, I think you will agree when you hear all of these put together. Now, just as a bonus for sticking around to the end of the video, I'm going to be giving you a free 5-step guide, blueprint, if you will, that kickstarts your improvement career. Now, here's the cool thing about this guide. It's going to contain what I'm talking about in this video inside the guide, inside the blueprint, but it's also going to go into a bit more detail on some things that you can really focus on to kickstart your career in lean, continuous improvement, business improvement. But here's the crazy thing, right? These 3 skills that I'm going to talk about in this video and the information that's in the guide, these can all be used on any job, in any career, in any role. And if you use these, you're going to use these throughout the rest of your career. So without further ado, make sure you stick around. I'll give that to you at the end. Just hang out with me and let's talk about these 3 skills. And the first skill that all companies want and need is problem solving. If you're a good problem solver, you're going to secure your future, right? Because there's not a lot of problem solvers. There's a lot of folks that throw things and see what sticks. A lot of folks do that, right? But rarely does someone actually strategically or tactically define a problem and then go through certain steps to resolve that problem. Most of the time it's just sort of shooting from the hip. And sometimes that works, right? Sometimes they get lucky, but it's not something you want to be doing throughout your career because 90% of the time it's not going to happen that way. You're going to miss the mark, right? You're not going to just get lucky. So you want to make sure that you're properly defining problems and then you're working on the solutions for that problem. And if you can do that and you can do it the right way, then you will secure your future because all companies want and need problem solvers. Now, the second skill that all companies want and need are folks that know how to improve processes or process improvement specialists, right? Now, think about anything in this world. It is a process. Whether it's documented or not, there is a process. You have a process every day when you get up to go to work. You might not have it written down, but you have a process. Companies have processes as well. All companies do. Now, they might not all have them documented, but they all have processes. And companies need people that know how to improve those processes. They know how to identify waste, or what the Japanese call muda, and they know how to remove those inefficiencies. Here's the thing. It's a continuous journey, right? It's something that you always have to be challenging the process on. So it's not like you'll ever get to some sort of process that's perfect, right? There's always going to be inefficiency in the process because there's new technologies that come out. There's new ways to do things. There's always going to be inefficiencies. But the idea is that you can expose those inefficiencies by learning how to use certain concepts and tools, and you can improve that process through certain steps. And if you can do that, you'll secure your future because all companies need people that know how to improve processes or remove inefficiencies inside of a process. And the third and final skill that all companies want and need are folks that know how to sustain results. Listen, one of the hardest things to do is getting folks that are leaders of certain groups to sustain results, right? To sustain the results that were gained through either solving the problem that we just talked about or improving the process which we just talked about. You got to be able to sustain the actual results. Otherwise, you're going to be right back in the same boat you were before. It happens all the time. I'm sure you've seen it before as well. And that's why companies want and need people that know how to actually sustain a process through driving teams towards documenting their improvement, measuring their improvement, and then making sure they stay on track and they don't fall off track. And sometimes this leads to other improvement events called kaizens or other issues where you can do problem solving. But nevertheless, these are the 3 skills that all companies want and need: problem solvers, people that know how to improve processes, and people that can get sustained results. Now, as I said in the beginning of the video, if you stuck around this long and hung out with me, I would give you a free resource that talked about these 3 key skills, but I also go into certifications, like do you really need a certification and what you can do to get around that. Also, which is a question I get a lot, by the way, what certification should I go for? White belt, green belt, yellow belt, these kind of things. And then I also go into how to create a sort of what I like to call a magnetic resume, right? And so I go into some details on that inside this free giveaway as well. It's yours free for just hanging out with me today. I know a lot of folks want to get into this field, into this career. And how do I know that? Because you've reached out to me on LinkedIn. You've reached out to me through YouTube. through my Instagram account. You've all reached out and asked me, hey, how can I get in this field? And if I get into this field, what do I need to do? I also get a lot of requests from folks that are in manufacturing and process improvement, folks that even work in corporate sales, Disney. I've had folks reach out to me from all walks of life. I even had one gentleman reach out to me that was in a dead-end job, working for a restaurant, and they want to know, how can I get out of the restaurant business? How can I get into lean? This is something that I really want to do, and I'll work with them on their resume. So if that sounds like you, grab that free resource. You're already on my YouTube channel. I do appreciate that. Keep coming back. Make sure you click the bell notification so that you get notified when I release a new video. Subscribe to this channel. Give me that thumbs up if you liked this video. I'll see you all in the next one.